Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our webinar today. The title that is how to get published in high impact journals, tips and tricks. And we are very honored to have the Center for Industrial Revolution and Innovation to support us and to host us. And thanks to Dr. Said's support as always. And so today's session will be hosted by myself. I'm Dr. Feranita, and there's Dr. Woon Leong. I will introduce us in a little bit. So before I introduce us, I will just let you know about today's schedule. So we will start now. Supposed to be 9 o'clock. I was just giving 2-3 minutes for people to log in. And so I will then start on the fundamentals of research rigor, okay, and followed by Q&A. So the timing is a little bit flexible, yeah. We are not very strict on that. But if I finish my part faster, then we have longer Q&A, and then there will be a break between 10:15 to 10:30. And at 10:30, Dr. Lin will then continue on publishing the ISI index journals, and followed by Q&A. And the session will end at 12 p.m. So we were trying to talk less, but facilitate more of the Q&A. So during the session, along the time when you have questions, please jot them down, and then you may start asking questions during Q&A sessions. So you may either post your questions in the chat box, or you can raise your hand, and then we can then unmute you, and we can have discussion. So as Dr. Lin mentioned, since that we are not having a face-to-face workshop, still, this is not exactly a webinar, but on like an online workshop where as we try to share our experiences, we also want to have some interactions and actually get questions from you so that you all can learn together. All right. So I'll proceed to introduce Dr. Lin. Dr. Lin is our speaker who will start his session at 10:30. So Dr. Lin is a senior lecturer at Faculty of Business and Law at Taylor's University. Since completing his PhD from University Putra Malaysia and his MBA from East Anglia University, UK, his research focus has been in the areas of corporate political strategy, business ethics, and corporate social responsibility. Within ethics, he explores factors influencing business and organizational ethics and ethical behavior. His other key research area in corporate social responsibility focuses on green environmental practices and its relationship to organizational practices and performance. He has published numerous articles in refereed journals, including journals indexed by Thomson Web of Science, SSCI, and Scopus. His publications include Business Strategy and Environment, Corporate Social Responsibility and Environment Management, the North American Economics and Finance, Sustainability, International Journal of Economics and Management, International Finance Study, Industrial Marketing Management, Administrative Sciences, Journal of Cleaner Production, Journal of Environmental Science and Pollution Research. So if you have any queries on maximizing your potential, you can get in touch with Dr. Lin. Here is his email, okay? It's a very long list of publications. I had a hard time reading. I'm sorry about that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Just for sure, put on the show.
I have a lot to learn from Dr. Lin. He's more senior than I am.
We learn together.
And then I will go on to promote myself. So Dr. Feranita, that's myself. I'm a senior lecturer at the Faculty of Business and Law as well at Taylor's University, Malaysia. I received my PhD from Lancaster University in the UK, which was partially funded by Research and Development Management Association and partially sponsored by MGF, a privately owned family business in the UK. So my research is very much focused on family business and innovation. Prior to that, I obtained a Master of Research in Management Sciences from ESADE Business School, Spain, and an MBA from Nanyang Technological University in Singapore. My research centers around family business, entrepreneurship, innovation, and university-industry collaboration, Particularly, I use qualitative research methods. So I have published in journals such as Journal of Family Business Strategy and Journal for International Business and Entrepreneurship Development. My publications also include family business cases in Sage Business Cases. So I have also presented my research at conferences such as Academy of Management in the US and conferences in several other European countries. So if you have any queries or you would like to get in touch with me, that is also my email address over there. Okay, so let's start. So in the first 1 hour and a half, I will go through about fundamentals of research rigor from the position of transitioning from PhD student into early career researcher, academician. So I myself, I consider, I actually finished my PhD back in 2018. So now it's 2021. This is towards the third year of my life as an academician. So I'm sharing with you more like how do you transition from your PhD into early career researcher. So agenda for my part will be talk about publishing, just some publishing from the PhD point of view and the early career, and what does it take to publish, and just a little bit from the fundamentals of epistemology of science to go and emphasize on the research rigor, and then we'll go into the Q&A session. So about publishing. I would like to let you know that as you or most of you here are PhD students, I don't know about your stage, whether you are just beginning your PhD or you are in the middle of it or you are finishing or you have finished your PhD. But let me tell you that your PhD is just the beginning, okay? Your thesis is a booklet that you generated, but that's not it. It's not that I got my PhD, I submitted my thesis, that's it. My life is good. I'm a doctor now. That's not happening, okay? The long road lies ahead with the game of publication. And I tell you, game of publication, it is, in a sense, game of publication, and it's tough because there are lots of actors involved and you don't know them. So this is the life of academia. For whatever reason that you got into your PhD, now you have to realize that as you go on in the academia, the road is long and tough. So the difference between a PhD thesis and publication. So your PhD thesis, that booklet of, I don't know how many pages, it can be 150 pages, 200, 300 pages of book that is 70,000 words minimum. It sits in your university library, okay? There are roughly two types of PhD thesis at the moment. In the Western world, they mostly adopt the paper-based thesis, meaning that that's what I did also in my PhD. So I have an introduction, and I have 3 papers, and I have a conclusion. And in Asia, mostly we do the conventional monograph thesis, which is chapter 1 to maybe 6 or 7. But the ultimate goal is the same. So whether it's paper-based is just faster. So I have 3 papers, and when I finish my PhD, I'm just ready to publish. Okay. If you are in the monograph, it's the same. Your ultimate goal is to produce 3 to 4 papers, or even 5 if you're very productive and you have very good data set. So 3 to 4 papers out of that booklet of yours, and you need to publish them. So while your PhD thesis sits in your university library, you should publish and get your name out there. Because why? Your thesis only went through from your supervisors and the 2 examiners, right? 2 or 3 examiners. But publishing, it's getting out there and you're getting approval from the scientific community, means that the experts in the field that knows about this topic, knows about this research field, and when you get past them and you get approval from them, you are being known in the field as the expert of that topic. So as you have started doing your research proposal, and along the way, as you do your thesis, you must bear in mind, you must always position yourself to be known for a specific field. So you want to graduate with your PhD thesis and ready to be published to be the expert of that field. For example, I position myself as an expert in family business. Okay, I am from my MBA thesis to my Master of Research thesis to my PhD thesis, all the way is family business, and I focus on family business, and I'm the expert also in qualitative research. So I position myself in the niche area, and Dr. Lin, he is positioning as he's an expert in CSR, business ethics, and sustainability. So from now, you should always think about how you can position yourself. What do you want to be known as? Do you want to be in the future, like when your colleague talks about, Dr. Andrew, he's known for entrepreneurship. Okay, so you should always remember that you want to be positioned as an expert in a specific field. Of course, later on, you can evolve and branch out into other areas. But when you graduate from your PhD thesis, you should understand, you should have a position of your expertise. Moving on. So after you've done your PhD, what next? Or actually, during your PhD, you should already publishing. So in your PhD thesis, ultimately, the ideally is to have one review paper and two empirical paper. Why? Because the review paper will show that you have read enough and you understand enough in this field and this topic of research. And also, I mean, just say this, when you are during your PhD student, it's the best time that nobody will disturb you, and you can actually focus and read in depth of understanding your field of research, and you will get an in-depth understanding. So you publish that literature review paper during your PhD, which is what I did. In my year 2 of PhD, I published my literature review paper. And so then I get myself known as the expert in that field. And people know that I have read enough to understand about this field. And once you get your name out there, the editors will roughly know your name. Then you move on to publish later on when you have empirical data, whether it's quantitative or qualitative. Okay, but what does it take to publish? It takes a lot of perseverance. Okay, I kid you not, it's really, really perseverance. You need to preserve a lot along the way. This is one of the very well-known comics in the academician. We have the end goal of that paper accepted, but we have this row of editors and reviewers waiting to kill us. And this is another one. That's our manuscript. And then that is the editor and reviewers waiting for us. And look at this one real life example. This paper was first version review in October 1997. Editorial decision August 2020, accepted in January 2021. This 14 years. Actually, in very tough journals like Academy of Management, Journal of Academy of Management, and like strategic management journals. Those 4-star journals, they minimum take you about 2 to 3 years to actually going through just the first round and second round only. And sometimes you even have to go through the third round. And some journals, the high impact journals, they can even reject you on the second round. So after you went through the first round review and during second review, your paper just gets rejected. Okay, it's very tough. So don't tell me publishing is easy. I just have to pay. Okay, that the payment publication doesn't work anymore in the current era. Okay, and I will tell you, you can discuss more during the Q&A. So I don't want that to be a topic of my webinar. So if you think that, I know a lot of you work with your PhD supervisors on your thesis, and if you think that your PhD supervisors and examiners are harsh, wait till you see the review comments. Okay, so the publishing process is double-blind review. you don't know who the reviewers are, and the reviewers don't know you, but editors know you. So editors will send out your paper, and then the reviewers will review your paper. I think Dr. Lin will talk more about the publication process later, so I'll just quickly go through. And I'll just show you some of the sample of some of the comments I have gotten. And these are one of the harsher ones. And I was thinking that I thought my supervisor was harsh, and no, my supervisor was very helpful. So one of the comments from one of the reviewer of one of my papers, therefore, except for these purely descriptive numbers, we learn nothing about how exactly the over 60 UK SMEs chose from the individual list of at least 5 potential Chinese collaborators. So he says purely descriptive numbers, we learn nothing. Okay, this was my hard work. I collected data from 2014. I followed through this program from 2014 to 2018. That was 4 years of following the program, and took me a lot of day and night to write, only to get this. We learn nothing. And then there's this. Considering these relationships, the research model and the results can be perfectly anticipated with no need of further research. These ideas logically are considered in the discussion section, but unfortunately do not deserve a full research to review them. This is also a paper that I must say also this is not the best paper that I had. It was basically a collaboration. We started this paper actually from 2014, and with my Spanish co-authors, they are the ones that are handling the data. But it was it's not the best paper, but still we believe that it deserves publication. Okay, but look at this. No need for further research. And then overall, you might not have enough data and potentially poor data quality. Well, as I mentioned, this is the paper from here that we followed through the program for 4 years. We have, I think, thousands of pages of data and many hours of, interaction, because we are the observer, non-participant observer to observe the program. We have many hours of observations and lots of email exchange and interview data and internal documents. Really, it's really a multi-level of data, which we have written also in our manuscript. But this reviewer says you might not have enough data. That was really heartbroken. And one last example here. In terms of writing style, I prefer less conjunctive in research papers. For example, excessive use of would 32 times in this paper. Oh my gosh, what did this reviewer do? He did search the word would for 32 times, and he had to write it in these reviewer comments. So these are only 4 examples. There are a lot more. And what I do now is whenever I receive back my reviews, I look at the main, is it revision or is it reject? If it's revision, okay, close it. Don't read the comment first. Go celebrate. At least I get a chance to revise, okay? And if it's rejection, okay, fine. I will just take a deep breath, have a few days of rest, and think about how I can draft a paper better with my co-authors. So if I get a revision, whether major, minor, high risk, sometimes you can have 2 reviewers. One says major revision and one says reject, and the editor give you another chance, and it will tell you that it's a major revision but high risk. Okay, so I would then close it first. Don't read the reviewer comments. I know they're going to be harsh. And then a few days later, when I have gathered enough courage, I read the reviews comments. And then, of course, in my mind, I was so angry. I would get so angry as my co-editor as well. We will talk to each other. This reviewer knows nothing. He doesn't understand. He doesn't understand our data. He doesn't understand this. We have, and of course, we bitch about it. We just complain, we scold, and we that. But it's okay to let out your emotion. It's fine. But after that, shelve your emotions away and be very objective and non-sentiment and just focus on what the reviewer want you to do. Okay. So non-sentimental, you have to get past your emotion. At the first 2 days, I know you're emotional. You can let it out. You can even go smash something. I don't know, whatever ways that it takes. Okay. Let out your emotions and don't bottle it up. And then you work on your reviews objectively. That's the only way. There's no other way. Maybe you have other ways, you can let me know, but that's so far how I handle it. And so journals that have served as reviewers, Small Business Economics, Journal of Family Business Strategy, Family Business Review, Journal of Family Business Management, Journal of Entrepreneurship in Emerging Economies, and the Review of Managerial Science. These are the reasons I personally for rejecting papers. Okay, I reject a lot of paper. I think out of 10, I will have reject maybe 6 to 8. The reasons are usually there is no theoretical contribution. You have to understand research paper is about research. It's about knowledge. It's about theory. I don't care if you say that family businesses in Maldives are facing challenges such as getting finance from the bank. That is industry report. I don't care. Okay. And nor do the editors or the other reviewers care. We academicians care about theoretical contribution. You must bring theory to contribute to the literature. Okay. And no clear research gap is also one of the most reason that I reject paper. For example, topic is under researched. Topic is under research is really, really a bad reason to be a research gap. I will show you some examples later and how you can write a proper research gap. This is because, for example, if let's say a topic that has been picked up, let's say ecosystem or family business in the 1990s, somebody mentioned it. But then after that, 30 years has passed, nobody touched on that. Why is that? Maybe it's because that topic is essentially not interesting, not worth to be studied. That's why nobody studied it, right? And it also can be because this just simply doesn't work in the research field. So you really cannot say the topic is under research, topic is scanned, And there's also another thing that is the research question not fitting the research methods. If you understand your research methodology, there's a difference between quantitative and qualitative. The very, very fundamentals. Quantitative research asks for the what and when question. They use survey and questionnaire. Okay, they ask the what and the when question. Qualitative asks the how and the why question. And it's usually through interviews, observations, and many different kinds of data that are compiled together. Okay, so when I see paper that is quantitative and they say our question is how can family business perform better? And my mind goes like, did you go through your research methodology class? Not even this basic thing you understood. Okay. And so you really have to be very, very careful about making your research question fit with your research methods. And then there's a simplistic research model, which I'll show examples later. Lack of research rigor, meaning like, for example, when the author has not justified enough for the choice of sample, the choice of research methods, and why the choice to, for example, why they chose qualitative over quantitative. Okay, why this context? Okay, you have to be very, very much rigor, and also even doing qualitative research, you have to show the steps how you approach your interviewee, how you interview them, each one of your interviewee, how long you interviewed them, and you have to have a very detailed table showing who your interviewees are. Okay, you don't have to give the names. You can say interviewee 1, 2, 3, but research rigor and with information is really crucial in publication. Small number of sample is also one of the reasons that I reject paper. For example, for quantitative, less than 150 is a reject. Okay, 100. Let's say 80 people. 80 people is not enough to represent a city of, let's say, 15 million population. Quantitative meaning that a city of 15 million people, we take a sample to represent them. Okay, we randomly select so that everyone has a chance and we represent them. How can 80 people represent 15 million population, right? And for qualitative research, for example, the kind of that only one interviewee, 3 interviewee is usually reject because the data is too small to actually come up with substantial insights or be representative of the industry or the field at large. And there is also, I have received incomplete manuscript. Incomplete manuscript that is some parts are missing. So it's really wonder, like, you know, your research is yours. When you send to your supervisor or your reviewers, you have to understand that this is your research. It is not your supervisors and it's not the reviewers. You can't just send it to them and expect them to complete for you. It's not a fill in the blank, you know. You have to complete the whole thing and then you get response. You can't send in an incomplete piece of work. And how do people even give you comments and how to improve, right? And you can't expect people to do your work for you. You have to be the owner of your research and carry on with your research. And badly written still, it's not a straight reject. Sometimes badly written can still be salvaged by having copy editor. But if your English is not first language, before you submit, send to copy editor to have the grammar mistake fixed and everything, and then you submit. Okay. Otherwise, when the reviewer is in a bad mood and is such badly written, and then the reviewer just say reject, because I can't even be bothered to read your paper. It's so badly written. I cannot understand your English. Therefore, no matter how nice or how useful or how insightful the paper is, I can't understand it. That is a mind of the reviewer. Okay. So take note of the reasons for rejections, and it applies also for your PhD thesis. I'll show some examples here. This is not a research gap, okay? It says the research about family business has been expanding rapidly, but the topic of risk management is still scant. This is really number one reason for reject. Another one, researchers have not done enough academic investigation on them. Who cares? And then this one, therefore, generally, there is a substantial academic gap in researchers in Iranian family business. Again, this is now industry report about Iranian family business. We don't need an industry report for, let's say, for example, Sri Lankan family business or, I don't know, Italian family business. Those will be done by consulting firms or those like Big Four, PwC kind of industry reports. They will do. Our job as academicians is to produce theoretical contribution, okay? And as a PhD student before, I'm also guilty of writing this sentence that this research is not done before. And this is one of the reviewer comments that I've gotten before. It is repeatedly mentioned that no previous work has been undertaken about innovation in family SMEs. A deeper literature review is needed to bring some work. A simple search on Web of Science get 59 articles in the last 5 years covering innovation and SMEs in family business. So, you know, when you say that there's no previous work, I'm the first one to study this. The research is still scant, is understudied. Your reviewers can actually go search up your topic and tell you this. Okay, a simple search has shown 59 articles. What do you mean by no prior work has been done? All right. So you really need to just don't write that word, that sentence at all. This research is scanned, the topic is under study. Just don't write it at all. Okay. How do you build a research gap? It's not to tell people it's under research or the scan the topic is. Okay. You have to really show what has been studied before, from what angle, what theory, and what perspective. What are the incongruences from the existing research findings, right? Why is that so? Is it because things were viewed from different angles? Is it because, let's say, for example, research on family business innovation has been incongruent in the past research? Some researchers say that family business are more innovative than non-family business. Some researchers say that family business are less innovative than non-family firms. Why? Maybe it's because they view from the different angles. So the ones that show family business and innovate more than non-family business are the ones that use the angle from the resource-based view. In terms of resources, family firms has way more resources than the non-family firms because family firms have lots of cash in the pocket, right? They have the family wealth that they can innovate. On the other hand, the ones that show the family business innovate less than non-family business, they see from the perspective of family firm behavior because they behave altruistically, they are more risk adverse, so they are not willing to innovate. So you have to show why is the existing research finding incongruence. And then, so if the existing research has been incongruent because they are being viewed from different angles, theories, and perspective, could there be another angle and theory or perspective, right? And how can you contribute by viewing from a different angle, theory, and perspective? That is your contribution, okay? So you find a research gap and how you can contribute and close this research gap. One example of building up a research gap. Research gap is by building. It's not simply by telling people this is under research. There's nobody studying before. No, it's not that. Okay, so let's read together. Regarding the first stage, although the literature recognizes the value of international collaboration and the existence of complementaries among partner types, it is unclear whether knowledge from domestic collaborations helps the formation of foreign collaborations. So this shows that you have understood about this literature about collaboration, international collaboration. They are already research on it, right? But it's unclear whether the knowledge from the domestic collaboration helps formation for the foreign collaborations. Although prior studies show that collaborating with one partner type, okay, for example, customer, increases the likelihood of collaborating with a different partner type, for example, supplier, such complementaries might not exist among partners from the domestic to foreign markets due to cultural and institutional differences. So you show here again, so maybe there's a need to differentiate between domestic and international collaborators. Hence, the knowledge gained from domestic partner might be less useful for foreign collaborations. Therefore, the question is how can knowledge be gained from international collaboration? So this is called building up a research gap. Okay, you have to show what you know. You have to show what has been studied before. What is unclear to you? What is incongruent? What doesn't make sense to you? You write that out. That is called a research gap. Okay, do not write a sentence. I have us emphasize this a lot of time. Do not even write that sentence. This is the research is scanned. Okay. And so this is an example of incomplete paper. There was no discussion section. It went from findings straight to conclusion. There was no discussion. Discussion is very important because you need to discuss how your finding relates to the theory, right? And then you conclude your paper. Incomplete paper like this, I don't know. I, as a reviewer, definitely not going to help write the paper, right? The papers, the job lies between the author and the co-authors, not the reviewer's job to write the part that is missing. So this is also a reject. And then this is an example of a simplistic model that is factor Z leads to outcome A, outcome B, outcome C. If you want to publish in the high impact journal, this doesn't work, okay? You can't just say family management led to more innovation. Family management led to better performance. Okay, that doesn't work. You have to, the high impact journals now requires more and more contribution. Your contribution needs to be more complex, okay? This is one of the examples of quantitative research in the ABS4 journal. Okay, you need to show elaborative relationship between the constructs and what leads to what. Okay, and then another example. See how these and all the other factors leading to innovativeness. Okay, and this is also ABS4 journal. If I'm not wrong, this is Journal of Product Innovation Management. And other quantitative models, I'm not a quant person. Maybe Dr. Lin can tell you more, but you need to talk about more, for example, moderating or mediating roles, for example, and perhaps U-shape. I have even seen my colleagues who are from the engineering background, they have models that are like 3D models in the management fields. Okay, really, when the reviewers read your paper, they want to know what is new, right? And qualitative research. In terms of qualitative research, you have to bear in mind, really, your finding is not a research model. Okay, findings are just findings. I can find A says this, B says that. They face challenges because of COVID-19. The customers, they cannot reach out to the customers, blah, blah, blah. But these are your summaries of finding, but these are not research model. If you're a qualitative researcher, remember that ultimately you want to contribute to the literature by providing, identifying constructs and propose relationship between them so that the quantitative guys can test your model using quantitative methods. This is one of the example model from qualitative research. This is ABS4 journal. ABS4 journal, by the way, is the top journal. Takes a long time to publish. It can even be 10 years. So they shows the single firm and then assessing, multiplying, and transforming. You know, you have to put a lot of keywords that you identified from your data and elevate it to the theoretical contribution. And then here, exploration and exploitation of opportunities. A proposed theoretical model. Okay, this is from, if I'm not wrong, Strategy Entrepreneurship Journal. And this is another model from qualitative research from ABS4 journal, entrepreneurship theory and practice. Okay, so you show your approaches. This is the traditional paradox, and what do you propose, right? Propositions, what are the propositions? Okay. And so the most common reasons of rejection by journal is no theoretical contribution. So you need to understand epistemology of science. References are not theories, okay? Data are not theory. Lists of variables and constructs are not theory. Diagrams are not theory. And hypotheses or predictions or propositions are also not theory, okay? The purpose, you must always remember as a PhD student and a future academician, the purpose of a research is to generate body of knowledge, the advancement of scientific knowledge. Okay, remember, it's a scientific knowledge. Your thesis is to generate body of knowledge and to advance scientific knowledge in the field of our study. In general, in science, there is the hard science and there's the soft science. So hard science are like the physics, chemistry, mathematics. Those are hard science. They are very much straightforward. We are in the soft science that is called social science, and management is sort of under social science. Some people argue that management science is on its own. Some people say that management is under social science. Anyway, it's all under category of soft science. So the goal of research for social science or social science in terms of involving people, because social science involve people. So it's not very straightforward, just quantitative models and numbers. So we want to understand the science in its social context and the impact of discoveries on the society. Okay. In terms of management science, the goal is the pursuit of knowledge, the attainment of truth. As we get closer to the truth, we want to know more what is happening in the organization, what is happening in the organization with all these people as actor, right? We want to prediction. We identify factors that indicate when an event or phenomenon will occur. And there's an explanation. You identify the causes that determine when and why an event or phenomenon occurs. So we want to identify the factors or the causes that maybe cause family business to be less innovative or unsuccessful. Okay, we want to identify the causes, right? And there's a debate on science and pseudoscience. We in social science, management science, we are often being attacked as pseudoscience because there are lots of publications are not rigor enough. So what makes something a science is not what is studied, but how it is studied. So we need to always ensure that we have achieved research rigor. And you are generating knowledge from your sample. You're not studying your sample. Always remember, you are generating knowledge from a sample. I think I'm running out of time, but I'll try to be quicker. So this is an example of showing you qualitative research. A qualitative research, this is our quotations we get from interviews, okay? And all that. So A says, I face challenges and all that. These first order codes are from the data. And if you stay here, you say as an industry report, but you need to elevate it to second order. What are the things out of this you're finding? And the theoretical constructs. Okay, therefore, then you build theory. Okay, your thesis should be on this side, not stay here. This is the job of consultants, accountants, or those management consulting companies. They do industry report like McKinsey, PwC. Okay, that's not our job. Our job is here. We must have theoretical contribution. I would like to close with Conjecture of Science. You may read on your own. It's by Karl Popper from 1982 about management science. So to fit our management, to categorize our management science research as scientific knowledge, it must be able to have falsifiability, refutability, and testability. Okay, it means that when you propose a theory, it must be able to be falsified, it must be able to be rejected, it must be able to be tested again in the different contexts. Okay, in a sense, this will take another 1 hour to explain, but you can read on your own, or maybe we can do another session to talk about really epistemology of science. So the acceptance of science of a law or a theory is tentative only. Anything that you propose is only tentative. A hypothesis is tentative. And then you find samples, you either accept it or you reject it, okay? But one thing in mind, in scientific knowledge, you can never confirm, okay? Your data, your sample can support your hypothesis, reject or accept your hypothesis or reject, not support, but you can never confirm. In social science, in management science, we involve human beings, human actors. Human actors are not things. If you say sun goes up from the east and goes down from the west, you can confirm that more or less. But when you talk about management science, it's very difficult to say that we confirm that when employees are highly paid, they are satisfied and they perform more. Because we are human beings, we're not machines. We can change mind. We may have different contexts. Things might change. So you can only accept, support your hypothesis or you reject hypothesis. And when you do your quantitative papers, let's say you have three hypothesis, and let's say 2 is accept. Sorry. Let's say you have, let's say 5 hypotheses. Of the 5 hypotheses, 2 are rejected. 2 that your sample does not support it. Don't get paranoid thinking that you have to change your data to support it. No. When you have all 5 hypotheses, we are here to understand more about the truth. When a hypothesis gets rejected, it gets interesting because something new is coming, right? All you have to do is explain why it's rejected. What are the alternative explanations? Therefore, you have the new things that, well, wow, the reviewers will see that, wow, this is something new I didn't know before. Okay, so all right, and so I will leave it to you as the future academicians. Keep these 2 things in mind. How can my research contribute to the advancement of scientific knowledge? And what do I want to be known for? And with that, we will go into the Q&A session. I might have to let my throat rest a little bit, and maybe Dr. Lin can jump in. If you have questions, don't be shy.
There's a question in the chat box. Okay, I read it out. Hi, doctor. I'm Leong. I have a questions regarding the research gap. Is it relevant for us to cite the paper in the past 1997 or old time?
Dr. Lin, do you want to answer or I answer?
Answer, don't worry, because he's referring to you just not again.
Okay. A research gap is okay. A research gap, you can build. There are several ways. You can build chronologically. So you can say that this topic has started in 1997, and they use what theory, and then they have evolved, okay, until now. And then you also have to show the latest trend of the research, what theories and topics are that they have discussed before. Then that is your research gap. So if you go for chronological, it's fine. Chronological, then you start reviewing from the earliest research to now. For example, I can talk about innovation of in family business has started in the 1990s, and then the topic has since then evolved, right? And then they have then used whatever theories. Okay, so that is chronological. Otherwise, you use thematic. Okay, but it's fine to cite paper from the old time, but you also need to show that you know what are the latest research trends.
Okay, I think I need to add on for the questions about the past 1997. To me, is not so recommended to cite, because 1997, for the past real 20 over years, I don't think that people don't do the research on this field. Maybe you maybe not find it yet, because it's quite risky. If I ask you, why only 95 stop there? Why the gap stopped there and never been filled for the past 20 years? Okay, Leong, I think you don't think about that. You can put one of the contributor, and add on with the recent literature. Then fine. If you just put 1997 alone, that will be ambiguous to me, because I am, as a reviewer, I will circle that first. I want to I also want to check why so unique. the gap is stopped for 1997 until now. Okay, try to get as a usual, we will look for the past 5 years. I think the more recent, that's our advice to all the students. Try to look for the what you call the past 5 years literature is the best. Okay, since you know that nowadays to get the information is very quick and fast. Compared to the old days, we need to go to the library and flip one by one the journal. But now I think you can get online. Doctor, there's a second question I think refer to you. Doctor, critique and comments are very subjective. How do we stand our ideas on or turn the comments from editors or SV, what you call the SV? From the editor, okay?
What is SV? Is it supervisor?
I don't know. Okay, critique and comment. What is your subjective? Very subjective. How do we stand our ideas and turn to become our comment? Turn the comment from the auditor. So how do we stand our critique and comments are very subjective? I mean, from the editor.
From the editors.
Yeah, editor return the article, and it's very critic and subjective. So how you want to deal with that?
Okay. Editors actually don't give much comment. Usually it's the reviewers that give comments. Yeah, so reviewers usually, I have seen good reviewers, bad reviewers. Like I have reviewers that it's a purely qualitative studies, and then he's asking about the percentage and some quantitative questions. I got really upset, and clearly he didn't understand our paper, and so you cannot just blindly follow your the reviewers, but at the same time you must sort of please them and satisfy them. So things that if you think that the reviewer, of course, our first reaction is like, he didn't understand my paper. He didn't understand it. He didn't read it. Okay. But you must think back again. How, if he as a reader cannot read it, how do you expect your future readers to understand your paper? Step back and think how you can rewrite the sentence or the paragraph to make it clearer so that the reader can understand it better. Some parts, for example, like my paper is qualitative paper, and obviously the quantitative guy didn't understand it, then I would stand my ground. I would stand my ground and say that, for example, the guy says that it's not generalizable. Then I would say that as this is a qualitative paper, our objective is not to generalize, but to contribute to more insights and all that. So there are things that you have to stand your ground and explain clearer. There are things that you just have to take the emotion away and step back and actually reflect.
Okay.
And maybe Dr. Lim has something to add on.
So far, I mean, for my experience, I don't have this kind of what I call the subjective kind of comment, but it's very constructive. Mean to improve this one, because mine more on the quantitative kind of research. So the very constructive. You need to add this one. You need to add this one. You need to add this one. Or ask why I use this one. Why I don't use that. That's why I can differentiate. Which one I need to adopt or which one I want to argue. So it's very the subjective type. I mean, I don't feel this kind of problem so far. Maybe in the future I have the experience, I can share with it. But so far I don't have subjective. Okay, there's another question. Okay, to the doctor. If two reviewers' comments are contradictory, what should we do?
I have that. So my latest paper, we have three reviewers. Second reviewer says that your findings and discussions, your findings are presented clearly. I like it. And then reviewer 3 says that you need to relook into your data and write your findings again. So then in that sense, you have to follow reviewer 3. Okay? In that sense, follow reviewer 3 because reviewer 2 satisfied, okay. But reviewer 3, if you don't satisfy him, him or her, the reviewer 3 will give you a problem again. And then my another paper is, for example, reviewer 1 says that, that's not my paper, I'm the second author. So the reviewer 1 says that, so during first round of review, reviewer 1 says there should be a theoretical framework, a grant theory to link everything together. So in first round of review, I added resource-based view to tie in the resources that we have identified in the firm. Okay, in second round of review, reviewer 1 is satisfied, but reviewer 2 says that I don't see the value of using resource-based view as a grant theory. You know, you can even have contradictories during different rounds of review, not even between reviewers. So in this sense, then I just explain. I know that if I satisfy reviewer 2 and take out RBV, reviewer 1 is going to be unhappy. So and at the end of the day, I think that the paper needs to have a theory to bring this whole thing together. So I explained very politely to reviewer 2, thank you for your comment. As per round 1 suggested by reviewer 1, we have added in the resource-based view where we build on resource-based view to identify resources in the firm. So you politely explain that we will still use this, but we are not using it as a grant theory, but we use it to build on in identifying other constructs. So when the comments are contradictory, you have to think how you can satisfy them, pick one side, and then explain politely. Okay, I hope that is a satisfying answer.
Yeah,
Welcome, Malan.
So we have another questions from the FATI crew. Thank you for the awesome presentation. That's a compliment to you, Doctor. Okay. Could you share tips? Okay, could you share tips how to find a suitable journal? First question, especially for scope and aims of the journal. Sometimes with some scope and aims, two journals have different opinion related to the content of my article. Thank you. I mean, how to find a good journal fit. I mean, how to fit the article fit to the particular journal that you want.
Dr. Lin, are you covering this in your session later?
Yeah, he can, but you can explain as well. You can give your opinion as well because maybe he's maybe doing some quali. You want to know about your ideas because I'm doing that part later, but here you can answer as well.
Okay. For my personal experience, as I read journals, as I write my paper, I really find an exemplar paper that I follow. So for example, my field of family business, right? I like a journal of family business strategy or maybe small business economics. Then I usually will use them to cite as example or format. Then as I cite a lot from them, then they would be fitting the scope of my paper, isn't it? So usually I would identify suitable journal from the papers that I'm citing, because then I'm continuing. Publication is about like conversation between academics out there. So at the end of the day, you are like answering to each other's call. So some maybe journal of management has call for like future research can look more into this, and you are actually continuing that conversation. So you should, for me, I look into the paper that I cite the most, and I think then I pick up the conversation from them, and I think I would fit to their scope and aim.
Great, very good. I have a question from Shah Nevasa. Doctor, I guess one of the common desk rejecting reason editor put it sample is small. I mean that sample too less. Like you say, any sample below 150 is no good. But in many cases, maybe, let's say, only 200 firms are in Malaysia that are working or embracing additive manufacturing. So if the researcher is able to take data from 60 firms and are still rejecting on the ground of a small sample, Is it fair, or will he or she not able to publish due to the sample issue?
Yeah, if there are only 200 firms in Malaysia, then if you're only able to get data, for example, 60 firms, if I'm you, I would have done a qualitative research. That takes out the problem from a quantitative point of view, because quantitative point of view, it's just data from 60 firms, the editor will definitely just reject. This is for sure. And mind you, some people think that if I do qualitative research, I just have to interview maybe 5, 6 people. That's it. No, journals like Academy of Management, the 4-star high impact papers, they are qualitative paper. They can even have interviewees that 100 people. Okay, so you want to do quantity of 60 firms is really, it's difficult. If I were you, I would turn into qualitative paper. What about you, Dr. Lin? What's a suggestion?
Okay, because I'm doing the quantitative, definitely the data play a very, very important role. Okay, because we are quantitative, we want to generalize our result. Generalization is very important. Okay, if your data sample too small, it's not representative at all of the population. So not say that they simply reject Nawaz and not say, because as a reviewer, you need to consider, because people will ask, because what percent error you need to consider? 5%? If 5% for 1 million of the population, I think should be 387, the minimum sample. So it depends. So it's justifiable if you send out all the questionnaire, but you return only the response rate so low. You need to explain very clearly why your sample data are low first. That's why it's one of the justification you need to do, okay? But try to me as a lecturer or researcher, try to get as many as you can first. Okay? Then slowly you filter or screening, then come to your final sample. That's very important. You need to describe your process of the sampling. That's why sampling is very, very important for quantitative. Huh? Why you want to use convenience sampling, purposive, okay, stratified. Why you want to do that? You need to explain very well. There's a lot of students thought, oh, I'm doing the non-population sampling, stop, and convenience sampling, but he never explained why. Okay, you need to why, and you need to convince the reviewer why such small sample is justified for your study. Because that you say 20 million, what you call, not many manufacturing doing this kind of thing. Okay, then okay, it's fine. So it depends on your data collection and what's your response rate. If you're doing the quantitative response rate, I think very low. 3 to 5, I think it's like that. Okay, you send 1,000, maybe 20, 30 will return. Now, especially now during COVID, I have one project, I sent 1,005. I just received 35. So I need to do another round of the, not saying it's a keep on remind and remind, but no choice because I cannot do the physical kind of data collection. Online normally is very not effective at all. Okay, Nawaz, I hope you do understand that. Not definitely won't reject. Depends how you want to justify for your data collection. Okay, don't be so disappointed because the data your data sample is low, then people reject paper. It's not that way. You need to justify because a reviewer normally will read first. Okay, don't worry. And as long as you have a paper, if that's reject, it's normal to me. Frankly speaking, when I send a paper to my first North American, I've been sent out and then reject and then come back. I'm very disappointed. I don't give up. I keep on sending. Try to see what's the reviewer. I mean, normally the editor not give any further comment, but think about it. Maybe your paper need to improve or try. Okay, you need to keep on trying. Frankly speaking, don't give up. Publication not just what you call come easily. It's a process of learning. Okay, thank you, Nawaz. Thank you so much. Any more questions for Dr. Farah?
Dr. Lin, you're absolutely right. Actually, reviewing is actually a process of learning. My paper that was last year, we got rejected second round, and now we are we just finished the first round from another journal, and this time is lucky. We got very constructive reviewers' feedbacks, and we improved the paper, and we actually look into our data, and it's clearer now.
True.
Yeah.
Once you have connected with the reviewer, the chances to be accepted your paper is very high. If you can't connect with your reviewer's comment, or you say always find that I criticizing you, you have that thinking, you are not connecting with them. You try to refuse to follow their idea or their comment, then the tentative of your paper to be rejected also very high. So normally, why I say that, once they ask me to review or revise, or further revise, I find that my paper will be accepted very, very high. Normally, I won't. I will grab this opportunity no wonder how. That's how I'm doing. So you need to take times how to improve it slowly by not in a day or a week, maybe months or 2-3 months. Normally, a paper I revise 2-3 months. Make sure I want to do it right and resubmit. Okay, if you do it simply right, or this is because just one sentence, 2 sentences, I don't think. Okay, normally revision for my paper 60% I will change. 60 easily go to 60% from the original. The text will be changed. Frank speaking, that's why if the reviewer is very happy because you change most of your article, mean you improve a lot. So within 2 weeks or 1 month, they will say, congratulations, your paper will be accepted to publish, ready for publish, kind of thing. Then you'll be safe. Your name is all, you'll be in your Q1 journal. That's how.
Yes. You're so lucky, Doctor. Last year, my paper, the one that got rejected in second round. So in the
I see.
Yeah. So the paper, it's a 3-star ABS, and then it got rejected in second round. So in the first round of review, we have done the what's needed, and then second round of review came, and then we put in a lot of new data set because it was a qualitative paper, and we add in more samples, and we sort of like rewrite a lot of things. And the reviewer one was not happy. He said, "You submitted a totally new paper, reject."
Oh, that's too bad. I don't think so. I don't have this experience.
Yeah, which is
too sad to that. Yeah. This is a different journal. We have different kind of what I call the attitude of the reviewer. Sometimes. That's why I just advise all of you here. I mean that public. One of the thing is publish an article is also try the luck. It's luck. Your luck is contribute a few factors. Okay, like my paper, some paper, I think the comment is very straightforward, very easy to what I call the rectify it and amend it. But some is very, very tough. Recently, I have one very tough a journal we call tourism economic. Tourism economic that I mean last year I started doing it. Still second round revision. Unfortunately, they sent to another reviewer. That's why I say that bear in mind that your revised paper or resubmit paper not necessarily go back to the same reviewer, because normally the reviewer will take either choices that you want to continue reviewing the second time, or you just no more, don't send it back. If no sending back to the same reviewer, like what we say, the new reviewer, you give a new comment, then you revise again. That's the thing. So publication is something that is what I call the depends on your luck. Okay, depend on luck. Some paper have one paper last year can accept within 3 months, starting from the revision and accepted and published 3 months. But some I think years, okay, some years, okay, some 6 months, no, easily 6 months. Okay, so that's why I say that when you want to publish a paper, please consider your time. If you want for graduation, then you need to strategy. You need to plan your strategy well. If you want the paper because of graduation, because don't take it so lightly because today I send, tomorrow I accept. Not that way. That's why I say that time is one of the factor. If like me, my publication, I mean that I just enough for this year KPI. I'm no rush. You can take your own sweet time to do it nice. No need to revise in a very hurry way. But if like you, I think you want to graduate, then you need to plan it well. That's why I said that publication is very important, especially you consider the time. Okay, your limit, the time. Don't do it in rush because why? Normally when you are too desperate, sometimes you will spoil the whole process of your publication. I have a friend doing that, and he keep on sending, he keep on hoping the journal. As you know that ISI journal, what I call this a good journal, take times because the reviewer maybe take 3 months easily to review a paper, and the editor maybe take 2 weeks to 1 month to justify resubmit or reject. Everything is broad time. Everything is taking time because doing a reviewing is free, no money. Don't think that I'm reviewing a article, they will pay me. No, it's just a voluntary kind of job. That's why they cannot force us to they give a lead time, but we can ask for extension normally. Okay, that's the thing. Reviewing process take times. So you need to consider. Okay, you need that paper for what purposes? You want for graduation, then you need to plan it well. Okay, when to submit? Easily, I think you need to give 6 months for the paper accepted. 6 months because definitely it's impossible the paper accept as it. Actually, we can choose 3 things. When we review an article, first accept as it means no change anything. You take that one, mean your paper immediately will accept and publish. Minor, major, or reject. These 4 columns we need to take before we submitting to the editor asks us to review. After reviewing, we submit. Then we need to take one of them. Normally, I will take major because major, why? You have more time for you to revise the paper. Not mean no good because minor within 2 weeks to 1 month. Normally, you have to revise the paper. This one minor, but normally very difficult to get minor. Normally, it's a major. Okay? This one minor, major, that doesn't matter. But the reviewer willing to accept your paper if you try to improve it. That's the meaning of the reviewing. Okay, that's a process of reviewing. I mean that you need, or the student need to know. Okay, if it is a behind the scene, how an article has been accepted from being submitted until accept. Okay, publish mean they accepted and publish mean they give you a volume, a page number or issue number. That's called publish. Accepted, just a letter. Okay, once accept, maybe take 3 months to publish your paper. Okay, but they will call early view. Early view means they will publish online first. People can read and cite. But when they cite, they can't find the citation won't appear, the volume number, the issue, and the page number. Okay, it's a thing we call it early view. Okay, remember, there's some early view is not considered like our lecturer. We are not considered early view as our KPI. We only can claim publish mean with the volume, with the issue and the page number.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Lin.
I can take a rest 15 minutes before I start my presentation.
Yes.
Okay, any questions? All the participants? Anyone? You can have one final questions over here. May I know how many here have been published an article? Anyone? Or publish a lot also can. Share with us your experience. Doesn't matter. Publication is nothing to compete. It's not a competition to me. I and Dr. Feranita is different field. Okay, our engineering side is different. You no need to compete with the quantity, but compete with the quality. Quality means people cite your paper is very important. You have 1,000 paper, but nobody cite. What for? But one paper, people cite 20, 30,000. That is called the what I call the quality. Can we cite our paper for the next? No, Leong, please try not to do that. I know a lot of people, including myself, also do. Yes, maybe initial you want to push up your edge index. Yes, but not as advisable for many time. Okay, no, do not do that. Yeah, unless you extend your study from the same similar framework. Yes, okay, but I'm not recommended at all. Please try not to do that. Okay, a lot of students, I think a lot of researchers doing that. They cite back their own work. I think unless it's an extension of your study or related to your argument or something that is your study support, okay, your article, do it. If not, try not to do that because not nice. Why you need to cite back your own study first? Why? Why only you're so special? Your own study with your article. You think about that. Why so special? Think about that. I don't think your study is so unique until you need to cite your own. Understand? A lot of people trying to do that because they want to push up the citation index. True, I agree with that, but not overdo it. Okay, that's advice to you as an academician. Like us, we can screen through. You know the people. You can see all their paper is not the first author at all. What for? You are. Normally, if you recognize the from the article, to me, this is my own opinion. I can see only first author, second author, and third author only can contribute. Sometime fourth also can, but easily first or second author normally they contribute. Maybe one is a student and a supervisor or course supervisor. That's all. If the paper has 7-8%, 8,000 words, I use one person write 1,000. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. That's why I don't know. I just my opinion. I not criticize anything. So I just want to share. Okay, normally we will look at the first author and the second author. The last will be the third author. And see, this is a three author is a committee. Your committee, your PhD committee normally. Okay. Not recommended. So you can do that, but to me, I don't. Not say depends the contribution. Okay, Marlan, first ask what they contribute first. What's your co-author contribute to the paper first? If they all have a contribution, yes, do that can. If they don't have contribution, you just why you want to write their name? Or the author means they contribute something to your paper. That's called contribution. Either it's a discussion, argument, or comment, or editing, analysis, discuss, whatever. If they don't have contribution, you better acknowledge them. You have an acknowledge column to acknowledge your author, I mean that those who help you. Because once you put the co-author, why? Because he been recognized as contribute to your article. Okay, understand? Huh? No contribution. Why you want to write or put their name as a co-author first? Ask. Why? That's a very funny question. Yeah. Okay,
Dr. Lin, I have a question.
Yeah,
Let's discuss. If I say this out, I think a lot of Asians will be angry with me. So
don't worry, don't mention this.
So in the Western world, where I did my PhD, PhD thesis is the work of, let's say I'm a PhD student and it's my work. My supervisors, they guide me, but they are not my co-author. And this is purely my work. And when I publish on my PhD thesis, I only put names of people who contributed my work. But in Asia, there's a lot of these things, supervisors think that when my student publishing, automatically my name is there as co-author. What's your view on this?
Do you contribute anything? Or let me answer the Joanne word. No, a supervisor definitely has a co-author because why? Both of you build the framework together. You and your supervisor build the whole work together. So you need to put your supervisor as the co. I mean those who are not contributing anything to your study or your article. Okay, so those who are not contributing, you can. But really contribute means sit down with them, how to write, how to collect the data, how to analyze, how to do the argument, how to give the implication of your study, how to do the editing, who help you to prove it, you can put that. As long as they do something for you, okay, in your paper. It did nothing. I don't know why. Nothing you need to include that in. Okay. Okay, Dr. Farah, what's your question just now? Sorry. About what? About...
Oh yeah, that question, like your view. Yeah, because I have seen PhD students crying and say the supervisor did nothing.
I don't think
So
the supervisor did. He's your supervisor. He or she is your supervisor. Definitely, you have a discussion with them from time to time, and then you should normally you will seek their guidance and advice. So from there, they spend the time to discuss with you, to solve the problem together. That's a contribution. Not mean they have to help you to write line by line. No, okay, no, definitely no, and help you. I think the most significant contribution you finish your article, you send them, they comment. That is the best contribution to me. Like a lot of students, they send to me, but I don't ask them to put my name. I don't want. Actually, I help them to do. So that's a comment on why this one have to. Why you need to cite this problem? Why the flow is not in the what you call the smooth? Okay, the flow not smooth. Why the argument some lacking here? Why the literature not comprehensive? Why the variable you discuss here not discussed in your literature? That kind of thing. And your result is ambiguous. And you never discuss your result, and then you never argue. Okay, that's it. Okay.
okay.
We keep the question first. We take a rest for 10 minutes. I think 10 minutes. I will come back with my more technical thing lah. Okay, then I will leave more time on the discussion. Okay. So,
Okay.
Dr. Farah, you maybe you can close for this section. Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Now we go for the second half. So, the first half of the workshop is by Dr. Farah. I think it's a very, very interesting kind of presentation. I also learned a lot from there. So this is the second half. I just want to, maybe some of you already know what is the ISI mean to you, but I just share with you about my understanding. Okay, so we share together. So what is about the ISI for? Okay, so first, I think this kind of word ISI been talking since I think all of you been heard this word ISI. But what is really for? What is about ISI so special about that? Okay, so before you want to publish your article, you need to know where you want to publish first. Okay, that's a very important strategy that my professor told me. Lin, you don't say you want to publish, publish. Where you want to publish? Where? Yeah, I said, oh, I want to this journal. Why? I don't know. You don't know, then you publish. Why? What for you want to publish there? Oh, I say that people talking about Q1. What is Q1? Q1? I don't know. Yeah. So this is a section more to let the student know. I mean, that this is for my PhD knowledge. I just share with you. Okay, it's not standard time. It's standard. It's just my personal compilation. Okay. So publishing paper in ISI high index journal. Yeah, I say index, just one index, Sin, Taylor or Malaysia University majority follow the ISI index. So we need to follow. Like UK, what Dr. Farah said, we are follow ABS. It's different. Like Australia, we follow the ERA or ABDC. It depends the country, depend the region. But now, Malaysia follow the ISI and Scopus. I just brief you more on the ISI and Scopus. Okay. When you heard about the index, okay, ISI index journal, normally they will come with impact factor. The only one have the impact factor is ISI impact journal. If you've heard about others, yeah, different way. The world only recognize ISI. You will talk about impact factor. Later I will show you what is the impact factor mean to you. That is because refer to ISI impact. Okay, so you have to bear in mind, if other people say the scopus also have impact factor, yes, but not recognized, we're not categorized as one of our factor yet. Okay, normally scopus don't have impact factor. The impact factor normally refer to, at this moment now, I don't know, we will change gradually from time to time. At this moment, I think it's only refer to ISI. So we're going to learn, or not, I'm not going to learn, sorry, we're going to discuss about this topic, okay, later one by one. Yeah, I think as a PhD student, I think you should know why we need to publish. Why? But publish is not for graduation, publish not because of the KPI, publish is not about, but it's about the knowledge. A lot of people, I mean, in the world nowadays, not many, I mean, that not say all, I mean, that a majority of them publish not because of this knowledge, okay? That's why when I study my PhD and people say, why you want to publish first? Oh, I say that I want to build my CV, I want to get a better job. That's a secondary. But what is the main? Okay, the main is about knowledge. Okay, you need to know. Okay, publication not because of your profile. Yes, that is a secondary kind of the what I call the reward. Okay, but the first is you need to know how about sharing first. Okay, by research you are doing, then teaching people, because normally we use teaching knowledge, okay, and also the extension of how to expand your field of the research. It's about the knowledge, you know. Publishing is about the knowledge, okay. But if you are sad to say, nowadays people take publication is one of their weapons to get a good job and a reputation. Yes, that is true. Also, sure, they will give you a what you call the kind of the secondary reward. But to me, I think publication make your research finding public. That is opening to the examination and used by other scholar. Yes, used by other scholar and knowledge user. That is a thing. Like I'm doing a CSR. So my research will be on sustainability. I need to inform the SME or the organization. CSR really help company performance. They will ask how. They say, this is my research. This is how my research showing. That's why. How many percent the profit you can earn? What is the risk? How the CSR can reduce your risk? This is the thing what we call knowledge. Okay. If you just for sake of the publication, then I can easily get a simple data and then run it, and then I can publish anywhere. But no, publication, bear in mind that's why I very emphasize to the student, it's about the knowledge, okay? Because of the people can use your article and your knowledge for the teaching and for the implication, okay? Because of help them, okay, whatever field they want, okay? So I simply make it a few what I call to differentiate, okay, kind of the journal or the whatever, because I want to make sure all of you know why so special about the index journal, okay, and then still can level of difficulty getting harder when you go to for index journal. Index journal normally is a peer review, we call it, okay. The process will be quite difficult, okay. So you can publish in your book chapter. Yeah, book chapter normally is you will submit your abstract. They accept your abstract, then you will deal with the editor of the book. The process will be a bit simpler, and once they accept, definitely they will publish your paper. Normally, normally the process is they accept your abstract. Once they say your abstract is suit the title of the book, then you are selected already, so you can publish and make sure you are follow the book's requirement. Then you have conform proceeding. Also is another way. Non-in-text journal mean those who are not categorized in the abstract in the in-text journal. Okay, a lot. Meaning they are not in the Scopus, they are not in the Web of Science, okay? They're not in that, okay? They're not in the ABDC, ERA, ABS. Those are called non. So then you can publish in the in-text journal. In-text journal will be very difficult because of the process of the peer review. Okay? Peer review. So think about that. So where you want to publish, then you can notice about the difficulties here. Okay. The difficulties, okay, definitely the in-text journal will be more difficult compared to the book chapter. Not say book chapter easy, no. I mean that more straightforward because I also publish a few book chapters, so I know the process. Once you submit your abstract, the editor, the book editor happy with that, suit their title, so they will ask you to send the full paper to them, then you publish. Okay? I have few for the book chapter, okay? So why you need to publish in the ISI in-text journal? I think one of them is a requirement. So maybe Taylor also have a requirement, maybe in the Scopus, at least Scopus. Then require for promotion like us, yes. Right, AT, associate professor promotions, you need a certain quantity of your paper. Good article mean certain quantity in ISI in-text. If your paper majority is not in-text, mean quite difficult for you to avoid you the AT. To be recognized in the field, yes, what Dr. Farah discussed. You want people to recognize you, not only your PhD, but you need to publish from time to time. The knowledge you need to contribute, like CSR. My major field will be the CSR, so I need to contribute to CSR, my research, okay, or sustainability, or business ethics, or corporate political and strategy, or innovation, green innovation, something related to the sustainability. Okay, to disseminate knowledge, yes, this if people can get. Okay, and the last one, most important thing nowadays, you can see what's the QS ranking. Remember the QS ranking, top 100, top 200 are. One of the criteria, the element for that will be the accreditation. If your university have more Scopus and ISI published article, your name, your ranking will be higher compared to those university don't have. That's why university so particular publish in the ISI in-text journal. One of the reason is this one. One of the main reason. Definitely, you can see a good university normally they will publish a lot of article in the ISI. You can see normally the UK and US. You can see majority of the good university they will publish a very high impact journal. Okay. So now we want to understand, before you want to publish, I would like to urge you to understand the journal indexing service. Okay. So I just have a lot. I just take it four most common. The most common one that you face. Okay, you have a Google Scholar. You know what is Google Scholar? I think majority of students use Google Scholar to search for the article. Google Scholar is very wide. You also have an in-text, your paper can be searched in the database of Google Scholar. You in-text. There's a Google Scholar in-text. Okay, normally in-text, when you search for the in-texting of the journal, they will put Google Scholar, Web of Science, LCV, Scopus, whatever. So that is one of the, there are plenty of in-text. I just think it's the most common. One of them is Google Scholar, the widely used one I can see. Okay, the more easy. The second one will be DOSH. Okay, DOSH will be the Directory of Open Access Journal. You can download freely the journal. Okay. The most important for you, I think for all of you, please focus on the Elsevier. Elsevier, the in-text we call Scopus. Web of Science, we call it ISI. Okay, so it's same. When people talk Web of Science or Elsevier, normally it's a Scopus in-text and ISI in-text. So the coverage is more because here anyone, any journal, conference proceeding, you can find a lot. Okay. And the quality is a bit because why the the screening process or filtering process compared to ISI is a bit loose. So the quality, some high, some low, the mixture. So there's a, I can see that it's a very diverse. Not you have low and high. Okay. Then ISI normally we can call it very high quality. So we have so when you have a paper in published in ISI journal, normally we can foresee the article is a very good article because you've gone through a very difficult process by the few round of the reviewing, then resubmit, revise, resubmit, then finally accepted. So the sign normally is a very high quality, followed by the Scopus and Dosh and also the Google Scholar. It is just a very brief kind of the to categorize, okay? Because people will ask me, can I publish in Scopus? I can. This depends what is your aim. You want to publish in ISI, also can. Anywhere also can. It depends what you want. For now, I think for a student like you, try to aim high first. Here, try to aim like me. I also try to aim ISI. If a few round of rejection, maybe then you can lower down to Scopus. That is called strategy. If you have time, your time is permitted. If you don't have, let's say you want to rush for your graduation, then you need to be aware that. So because time, normally ISI will take more time. And Scopus as well. Actually, Scopus and ISI, actually the time, same. The process is almost same. It's very difficult. But that's why I say depend on luck. Some of the journal review very fast, and some is very take long time. Okay. So what is ISI? So you need to know. Okay, ISI stands for Institute of Scientific Information. Most of the people know how to call the acronym of the ISI, but they don't know what is the meaning. So remember, from today onwards, you need to know what is ISI. ISI is the Institute for Scientific Information, founded by Eugene, 1960. It's part of the Thomson Reuters. Okay. Then now it's owned by the Cramming Analytics. Same. That's why last time previously called Thomson. Now I think in 2017 or 16, is brought over by the owned by the Cramming. Okay, same. So it's covered 1,000 academic journals which are available view because part of Web of Science database. So unfortunately, our Taylor don't have the Web of Science database. We only have the LCV only. Okay. So later I will show you how to look for how to read. How to not say read, how to understand the ISI journal. Okay, later I will take an example. I will go into the database and you see how to understand it well. Okay. So ISI got four. Okay, got three important kind of the three important service. We have the Science Citation Index or Science Citation Index Expanded. Okay, we have a Social Science Citation Index and Arts Humanity Citation Index. We, as a management or tourism, anything under this category, Social Science Citation Index (SSCI). Okay, this is more like the science, science. Okay, technology or the engineering will be here. We, as a management or business or environmental study or whatever, tourism under SSCI. It's very important if your paper published in SCIE, I mean the expanded science, people will query why your management don't publish your own SSCI. You want to publish here. I have 2 or 3 papers published in SCIE because it's about the environmental science. But my study is about innovation. So it's about low overlapping field. So certain paper that I'm doing with sustainability, because sustainability got 2 domain. One will be the technological, one will be on the business. So it's about overlapping. So it's a quite big. So if all of you try to focus on the SSCI first, okay? This is ISI. So ISI got 3 SCIE, SSCI, and AHCI. So that's a three. Okay, when you log in to the JCR, the Journal Citation Report, you need to select which category you want to look for on the journal. Okay. So recently in 2001, because why? As you know, the eyesight journal is very limited. The number is very limited. I think the highest so far will be the economic field. 200 to 300 over journals only been listed in the eyesight journal. Okay, in the eyesight index. Okay. So due to the increased demand of the journal, but they also want to maintain the quality of the eyesight, they will serve one of the index we call emerging source citation index. That is a 2015. This index also under eyesight index, but 1, 2, 3 got impact factor. The impact factor means they got the number 4.1, 2.3, 3.1. The highest impact factor, the best journal is it. Normally we refer to the impact factor. The highest normally will be the best journal. Okay, that's why highest normally you're in a Q1. Below me a Q4. Whereby this, if you are new journal that before you move to the SSCI or SCIE, you will be under probation, not say probation, I mean in the platform we call under monitoring platform, ESCI first, okay? This is also under eyesight journal, but you don't have any impact factor. But you count, when your paper cited, you count as a citation text. Okay, they will count into citation. But all the journal that listed, okay, in text in the ESCI don't have any impact factor. Remember, there's a lot of people confused. Yes, my paper eyesight, but let's say that this is called emerging source. You are the not, I mean that not ready. I mean, in the preparation, the process of going to the either one of here, SSICI or SIE. So we call 2015. Okay, remember this is don't have any impact factor. Here, 1, 2, 3, you will have the impact factor. So this is a master list, and then later I will show you my screen to understand, okay, about what is the eyesight journal for. Okay, we have so many master lists. You can look for the career master list to look for the eyesight journal. You also can find this is an example of you can read. Okay, people have a journal number, and this is the impact factor. You see, normally if a Springer very good, he will list the impact factor. If the impact factor 2016 mean year 2016 he have 2.456, okay, then this is we call the impact factor. Impact factor only apply, very speaking, only apply those journal listed in the eyesight index only. That's why when you look for the journal, be careful. If some of the predatory journal or the bogus journal, you make sure they simply give you the impact factor. This not say don't count. It's not the impact factor we are discussed here, because we are following the ISI standard. Okay, ISI standard. So ISI normally have the impact factor. You can refer here. Now this is an example of the credit rate. Okay, but credit rate don't have much information. But later we go to JCR. That will be a lot of information. I will teach you how to read the JCR, what the information you can take it from. I mean, information can retrieve from the JCR report. So this is all the query rate. You can see when you type the journal master list and then you search, you search medical system, then you come up all the information here. So remember, all the ISSN number is very important, because that is your serial number for the journal. Okay, normally you type, because in the world there's a lot of journal almost same name. Okay, almost one with S and without S also give you a difference. So keep that in mind. So normally we'll call it call number, this one. Okay, ISSN, but this one don't worry. But you can reduce this kind of confusion by using the JCR report. Okay, this is called JCR report. Okay, so JCR is a list and impact factor for each student. Okay, if you are experienced to view read the JCR, I think you understand what I'm talking. Those who are new, don't worry. I will show you. I will share the screen later. What is a JCR? JCR, I think, not available for Taylor Unique Library. Yeah? So, and then you need to pay for subscription. It's very expensive, but I'm using other use to help me to conduct this what you call the workshop. Okay. So JCR lists the impact factor of each of the journal that is tracked. You can see the record. This very comprehensive information. You can see the history, total size, okay, Q1, what domain they are in, okay? So this will be done. The impact factor, remember, will change every year in June. They will calculate, okay? That's why impact factor is not forever. This year, if you have very high impact factor, next year, you can go very low, also can. Because the impact factor is depend on the citation of that particular journal. That is why the editor is very concerned about your quality of your paper published there and the topic that you're going to publish in their journal. Why? If your topic is very interesting and very new finding and then contribute to the knowledge of your field, can you imagine people will cite that particular your paper and automatically will increase the journal impact factor. That's why how the journal compete each other, they compete by the article, average article cited. So very important. This is all their editor strategy, okay? So we have two, this is one of the, as a 2018, I'm not mistaken, we have a Web of Science edition. For the science and technology, we have 5,700 journal, and social science, we have 1,007. So if you are in the science and technology, the chances is more for you to publish. But you are in the social science like us, management or business, you only have 1,007 journal. That is why publishing in management, business, tourism is very, or environmental study, whatever, HR is very, very difficult. Because why? We have very limited journal available for us to study. It's very, very competitive. Imagine which university in the world, I mean that common university, don't have business school, don't have the management, don't have the social science. Which university don't have this module or this degree? Which university? Economic, finance. Which don't have? Which university don't have this count? That's why. Can you imagine? You need to compete with the world. Only 1,007 journal. That's why you say that very difficult to publish in Web of Science or iScience because of the limitation of the journal available. So automatic make us so stressful when we come to the publication. Okay. So okay, I will stop sharing and then I share my screen. I will talk about more about the journal or citation report. It's one of the very important. Okay. I need to share with you. So far, any questions so far? Anyone? You want to ask me anything, please feel free to ask rather than I complete and then you ask. Okay. I think anything is not clear, I can pause the presentation and then I share with you. Okay. So I share my screen. Can you see this screen? And all of you can see this screen? Are you looking at? Same, is it okay? Okay, good. So this is the Journal of Citation report. Okay, so you can find a lot of information. Later we will see what is being browsed, journal, category, and report. Okay, don't worry. First, type your journal that you want to look for. Okay, type. Okay, type, and then he will come up for you to select. You must be careful. Follow exactly. If you don't have, if any spelling mistake, capital letter, it won't appear. It's very, very particular of this sort of thing. Okay. So here he got two. So this I've already published one here. So you just click and then you just search and then he will come to this screen. This is the full report about business strategy and the environment. Then I published two here. Okay, I will publish two here. First, what information you look for? Look at the category here. The citation report is very, very good for us because he have a category. If you are not in the business domain or you are not in the management or environment study, then you better don't publish your article here. Okay. That's why I think the fee, just now the one student, the fee, I don't know what's the name. Sorry, you want to know about the suitability. One of them you need to look for, like business is about the category resources concerned about all aspect of business, about business study, you see. Then management is about the decision making, leadership study, whatever, and also environment study. Environment study is not the environment science, it's about environment related, okay, related to the policy, planning, law, management, natural resources, energy policy, and environment study. That's why environment study also one of the important study for the business strategy, okay. Then what is the impact factor you are looking for? This one, 5.481. This is the impact factor from where? Last year, 2019. Another 3 months, they will change. This is a fluctuation about the impact factor. You can see 2015 is changing. 2015 is about 3.479. Then it reduced to 3.076, increased again to 5.355 and become 5.355 again, and then it reduced to 5.483. So that's why impact factor for the journal will be changed from year to year. Bear in mind, yeah? So once the impact factor change, this will affect the Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 also changing. Okay, not mean this article Q1 forever they are in the Q1 or 5.483 forever. No, it depends of the citation. So the information you need to is about the impact factor here. Next, you need to look at a lot how to calculate. Okay, how to calculate the impact factor is here. Okay, citable is 2 years is about here. Okay, I mean, in 2017 they just published 80 articles only, and 2018 they published 125 articles. Okay, plus together it's called citable entitled. Divide. Okay, and then you need to divide. Okay, and this is a citation total in 2019. I mean plus 17 and 18. Then divided by the number of cited. So this is how they calculate the citation, the impact factor. Okay, it's very true. I think that if a journal, some of the journal you can see the citable item in, if you have more citable item here, definitely will pull down the impact factor. So why a lot of article, a lot of journal, they don't want to accept too many articles in a year. Why? Because they want to maintain a very good impact factor. Okay, this is a strategy. Because why? In order to people to cite your article in the journal, it's very difficult because student have it depend your field, depend your impact factor. Okay, so that is one information. Next, I want to show you. It's about you're talking the Q1. This is the rank I'm talking about. You can have a lot of information you can click. Okay, if you are able to. So what is the Q1, Q2, Q3, 4? Okay, this is the rank we call it. Okay, this journal, business strategy and the environment, rank it under Q1. Q1 means if in business, in the business field, if the business will have 100 journal, Q1 means top 25 journal. We call it Q1. top 26 until 50 is a Q2 and so on. I mean that Q1 normally is a top 25 journal, Q2 top 50 journal, Q3 top 75%, and Q4 top, I mean the 100%. I mean this is we call it Q1, Q2. Okay, because they are arranged according to the impact factor. That's why the number. Okay, so for business, I think we have 152 total, 152 journal. This journal rank 19. So very high journal in the business field. In the management, we have 226. It's ranked 21. Okay, and in environment study, we have 123 journals. It ranked at top 10. That's why this journal ranked Q1 in business, Q1 in environment study, and management Q1. Okay, this is how we see. Okay, one of the important factor is since you want to know what is the related journal with this journal. Because you want to look more journal, you not interested in the journal, you want to look for what journal have a similar kind of the field or similar kind of study. Click the journal relation here. Sorry, I think the, okay, wait, I need to. Sorry, yeah. Okay, click the journal relation. Yes, this is a journal that have very close relation with the business strategy environment. We have business ethics, business production, strategic management, academic management journal, academic management journal review, ecological economic, corporate social responsibility, environment. This is the thing you can look for. If you don't want to publish here, you can go for this kind of journal because they have very similar kind of the relationship. Okay, that is one of the information you can look for here. Another information is you want to see which country publish a lot in this journal. We have China 63, England 57, USA, Spain. Okay, then you also can see the university published. Shanghai Jiaotong, one of the very good university. Lead. Okay, this Hong Kong Polytechnic. You see, Shenzhou is a lot. This is all the journal. Yeah, I mean you can see which university published for the past 3 years in this journal. Okay, so you can see from here you can strategize. Okay, if a lot of Asian university over here, so you have better chance because if you see all is a European or American university, then Asian will be, because majority of the reviewer will be the European. If here, I think it's more about mix up. I think it's more like the Asian European mix. I think this journal try to go more to the Asian now. Okay, you see. So I think all the information is very important when you want to publish your article. So I like, unfortunately, very unfortunate that Taylor University, I will propose that Taylor University try to subscribe this journal citation board. It's very informative to you, frankly speaking. So a lot of information, at least what is the most citable in the all the paper you can, and the citation in here you can see a lot. Okay, full site. Okay, this is self-site sustainability. You see all the what others journals cite this journal also. Okay, so that is important. So I will return to the slide what we discussed. So far, any questions? No? Okay.
There was one question in the chat box.
Okay, what?
There was one question in the chat box.
Okay, can.
I'll be your MC. So from Sammy, I have one question. If my research is based on an established working model rather than one particular theory, and discuss how the model is associated with research constructs, will it be considered a theoretical linkage?
So what is the main question here? Because of the
If my research is based on an established working model rather
okay,
than
you are
one theory,
adopting other people.
adopting, and discuss how the model is associated with the research construct, will it be considered a theoretical linkage?
I think all the study, if you say you have a theory, that's a theoretical. I don't know what trying to mean here. So if the framework is I see qualitative, we don't have framework. Am I right, Farah, Dr. Farah? Qualitative, normally we don't have framework. Okay? Framework only apply to the quantitative. That's why we call theoretical framework. Okay, so you're adopting, then you want to add new theory or what? New construct. You're adding what? Moderator or mediator, or just independent variable. So what you're trying to say here?
Yeah, maybe Sammy, can you perhaps clarify more?
What
And
you want to
then,
add? You add the independent variable is independent variable. Why you want to add that independent variable to the framework?
Yeah,
First thing
Dr.
You want to
Yeah, Dr. Lin.
okay, hello,
Thank you.
Sami.
Yeah, so
What's the
actually,
question?
yeah, my question was that it's related to my PhD thesis.
Okay.
So when I read the related study, I find that my independent variable, the high involvement working model, so
Okay.
it is actually based upon many theories. It's itself a working model, established working model, but it is related to many theories, the job demand resource theories, the constraint resource theory. But each theory has some also limitations. So if I propose something like that, my research is based upon the one established research model and do not discuss any research theory, particular theory, that job demand resource theory or social exchange theory, and instead say that my research is based upon a particular working model and discuss how this model is associated with my mediating variable, the dependent variable. Will it be considered as the, theoretical linkage, or that's how I can
definitely is a theoretical. You are doing quanti,
yes,
Sami.
yes.
When
Yes,
quanti is we call the confirmative. Confirmative research means you confirm the theory. It's not exploratory.
Yes.
You're doing the exploratory or confirmation?
Confirmation.
Confirm means definitely you need the theory. It's already, if confirm theory means automatic is a theoretical contribution. You have theoretical because you are just now you say you don't want to use the theory mean what? You don't want to involve the theory?
Theory means that I have to indicate that my research is based upon a particular.
What is your overarching theory? What is your overarching theory for your research?
Job demand research theory, you mean?
Job research demand theory is overarching. Then it's a theoretical linkage already because you have built. Why I say that quantitative is quantitative is a theoretical base. Why? Because you build your research on the theory. You cannot build your own. If you want to build your own, go for quali. Ask how and why. Now you're asking does this one. The hypothesis, you hypothesize something. You're not propose something. You're not proposition. You are hypothesize something. You want to confirm something. Support or not support. That's why you are theoretical. Okay? Yeah. So when you adopt the new, normally you adopt the framework, you add something inside. Okay, like moderator or mediator, or just now what you say that new construct also can. That's your contribution of study. But before you add this kind of a moderator, mediator, or independent variable, ask the question, is this necessary?
Yes.
If necessary means you need to perform your gap. What is gap? You add moderator, then you say, no, I just want to add. No, not logic. You cannot say I want to add. You need to find, you add because I want to fill this gap. your research gap is very important for your research.
Yes.
That's why I always ask the student, no gap, don't come to me, because you don't know what you're doing. That's why the research gap is one of the main important. How to get the research gap? From your teacher review or from your industrial expert can. Industrial experts mean you conduct a focus group review. From there, you develop also can. From literature, normally for student, the initial is best to look for the literature review. Read more. Okay. From there, you build. Okay.
Yeah.
And Asami, thank you
Yes,
so
thank
much.
you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I think I already explained the JCR here, so I won't spend more time. So far, I think you understand about how to look for a good journal, JCR, about the eyesight, okay, over here. So proceeding, I think just the eyesight proceeding, but it's not when you attend the symposia, conferences, seminar, colloquium, whatever, then they will have a special issue to publish the whole compound and publish. That's called the eyesight proceeding. Also can. They also known as a they were known as a conference proceeding in text, citation text. That's why when you attend the kind of seminar, make sure your what you call your abstract been included in the proceeding or not. Okay, because once you include the proceeding, then you people can cite and read. People can cite your proceeding as well. Okay. This is how we look at the H in text. So H in text is very important nowadays for the status lah. So you go to Google Scholar, you search for the people name. Normally the H in text, normally you search for the people name. And then you can see, okay, how the total site H in text 10. The highest the H in text means, the more of your paper is cited. So I will show you how to see the H in text mean to you. Okay, very important the H in text. So I will stop here. Okay, I think I use mine as an example. So Google Scholar, you just search, type the name, then you come out your name. Okay, I want to teach you how to look at the H in text mean to you. H in text mean when you look for a researcher in the future, I mean, it's Google Scholar, anything you want to look for the supervisor or collaboration project, whatever, you want to look for a reviewer, anything, examiner also can. They will have their field of study here. Normally they have field of study and they will show their citation index. The highest the citation, the best. I mean that the paper is cited a lot. Okay. So you just click cite by, then he will arrange according to the highest citation to the lowest. Okay, to the lowest. Okay. Since I want to teach you what is mean H index for. Okay, H index mean the highest H index mean in the list of me, I only have seven articles that more than 7 citation. How to see? 33, 1 more, 1, 32, second, 31, 3, 28, 4, 23, 5, 11, 6, 7. You see, it stopped here 7. Because from the H index, I can see if the person have very high index here, mean he have more than 7. Okay, 7. If your high index is 10 or 7 or whatever number, he have like here is 7 mean I have 7 articles cited more than 7 citation. That's called the H index. This is to show if your citation, because a lot of people include a lot of quantity. Quantity is not the quality. How to see the quality? Use the H index. Okay, H index mean some H index 1,000, but why he only have one H index very low? Why? Because he only have one article, but the rest of the article is not a quality. Nobody cite. Okay, That's why nowadays the system, in order to have a better system to control the researcher, not because of the quantity, but also tag along with the quality. So here for me, I have total 198 citation. From here, I have a 20 article. Only 7 articles are more than 7 citation. Okay, so that's called the H index 4. Okay, you can see a lot. Okay, you can see the year, how many paper. Okay, and cite. Then you can see which journal they are in, and you are the first author, second author. This one, you see, majority of my paper is a first author lah. I write myself. I also maybe 20% is I call with other people. Okay, that is one of the H index 4 lah. Okay, so you need to learn how to, as a PhD student, I mean, you need to know how to look at this kind of information. At least you can look for the future. You want to look for the collaboration or examiner or who. I try to look for the H index here. Like here, you have a 14. So 14 articles is more than 14 citation. Okay. This is a Scopus. It's the same. I don't want to elaborate long here. But this is nothing. This is about the Directory of Open Access. It's nothing. You don't have any index. Okay. Just show you. You can download freely from the doc here. Okay. Then this is a unique. So as a scholar, a student, I think I urge you to register. Try. This is free. Register your research ID that is available by Thomson Reuters, because your name will be similar to others. Like my name, Lin Woon. I think I searched the name. I think the world almost have a lot of me same name maybe. That's why, in order to differentiate with others, you need to have your ID. Research ID means developed by Thomson Reuters. Scopus ID you need, and OSIT ID. It's very important because why? Because out all your article you group under your OSIT number. Okay, OSIT number. I use a lot of OSIT number when I submit my article. When you submit your article, normally they will ask you, do you have any OSIT number? Why? Because they don't want to follow the name. They want to follow the ID. Easier to check. This article is belong to you. So try to register OSIT number. Okay, that's very important for you. This is the research ID 4. You will look like this. This is the Scopus ID. A lot of information. Okay, try to look for, and then this is the OSIT. OSIT is the most important to me because all the journal that you want to submit, they will request your OSIT number. Easier to trace, and you log into the particular journal, you use your OSIT ID and password, automatically you can authorize and you can synchronize. You no need to register so many password and the user ID. You tend to forget, okay? That's why use one ID. OSIT ID is widely accepted for all the journal in the ISI, okay? You use that and then you log in. Easier, okay? Trust me, okay? So now I think we have to discuss how ISIs work. I think this is a review process I will share with you. So I think strictly referee process. I think normally 2 to 4. Okay, 2 is a minimum, 4 is a maximum. Normally, okay, a journal, the article cannot reach what you call the if the reviewer, I mean referee, is less than 2, they won't consider the paper being reviewed. So normally looking for the referee is one of the difficult tasks. Very, very difficult, because this is a job is a non-pay, and then review an article is not easy. Not mean I just simply review and then submit, because we have an ethical. We want to make sure, let's say I accept to review the article, I must be very, very ethical, and then I need to help, okay, the author, make sure they deserve for the right. I mean that because they take 2-3 months to come to produce a paper. I cannot just, I reject. No, I make sure the appropriate process we carry out, and then I review page by page, line by line. I read line by line. So take time, that's why reviewing. So from the highest level of publisher, so they will select very similar. They will select those review referee from a similar field with you. Okay. Acceptance rate, I think less than 30. I think majority less than 20, not 50. 50 very high, already normally less than 20. That's why it's very difficult to publish now. If you publish in ISI, I think tends to be highly highly cited. True. Normally ISI journal, a lot of students like to cite the good journal. Okay, the good journal. So there are subcategory with the level. Okay, doesn't matter. And let me show you the how to select. Okay, you need to select. Use the JCR report. Okay, if you have a chance to accept the JCR, try to look for all the information here. Okay, type of work, accepted, review, original research, and article. You need to read through the journal first, and then what is the turnaround time? Turnaround time normally by weeks, 60 weeks. Okay, maybe 12 weeks, 14 weeks. It depends. Okay. Then check each publication per year. How many volume? How many issue per year? So some is bi, quarterly. It depends. Okay. And type of fees. Remember, some of the journal need to pay. Majority, I think majority of the economy and also the economic and also the finance, accounting, finance, those kind of article, those kind of journal need APC charge. So check it has online edition and also whether it's a length. Yeah, the length of the article very important. If they say less than 10,000, including or excluding appendix, table, okay, you try to follow. Because why? If you are more than the length, normally the editor will ask you to reduce. This is one is because the volume size, because if all the journal more than 10,000, then they need to print more. But the length also try to make it your article more concise and precise. The more you write, the more mistake. Okay? And you have a chance to be, I mean that the reviewer have a chance to look at your mistake. Okay. So this is the flow chart. Okay, I mean that very simple flow chart about the reviewing. First, you submit. Once submit, the administration journal will check your basic criteria. Here, I think one of the important, you check whether your word count is a meet, any keyword, any like the biograph, all necessary document be attached and follow their criteria. Okay, the thing. I think that's more thing. If they are not fulfilled, they will ask you to correct it and you resubmit. Okay, so try not to have this kind of problem. It's a basic criteria. This is not reached the editor yet, but the administration of the editor will help you to check. Okay. Then they move on to first screening. Chief editor will read first. Normally the editor will read. Here will be the desk reject happen here. The desk reject normally happen here. Okay. If the journal have a lot of associate editor, normally the chief editor will assign the associate editor to read, because a journal maybe they will have a lot of different field like management, so economic or whatever. They will assign the associate editor to decide. Okay. Once they say no desk reject, we move on to the reviewer first process, peer review. No reject, yes, okay. If two, normally it depends the editor. If they say once they send out and review and come back, and you find that maybe these two reviewer is not enough, they will send to another. Okay, maybe they send to add more reviewer, or depends on the situation. Okay, then peer review come back and yes. So here the editor will decide whether they want more or don't want to more, because these two review maybe the comment. Maybe the editor say that this is a good journal, this is good article, but they have a conflict with the review 1 and 2. So they will look for review 3 and 4 as well. So depends. That's why I see sometimes it depends the editor when they see the comment. Okay. Once they decide, okay, they need a major no, either it's a revise or reject. Depends. So here the reviewer have two process of reject. One is here, that's reject. Here it will be reviewing reject. Okay. Here I think from if the peer review reject, you can see the comment. Why your paper is not entitled for the publisher, why they are not suitable, why they reject you. So you can see a very detailed comment. Okay. So if you ask you to revise, then you'll be happy because the chances to be accepted will be 50 already. So try to revise according to the review comment. Okay. Then once accepted the revision, then they will come. Just after revision, also you have the chance of rejection. So depends how you what you call the what have you done or during the revision stage here. That's why the revision stage is very crucial. Either you want to follow or don't want to follow the reviewer comment, you need to justify. You need to justify why I follow. Later I show you some of my review comment how to reply to the editor. You can see how I comment or how I argue with it. Okay. So then after that, if the editor happy, they will send to after revision review. Once after that you accepted, then you publish. This is a process. This process normally take 3 to 1 year. Depends how fast you react. Okay, to the review process. Actually, the process all depends on you. Like me, now I think I'm quite busy. I have two articles been asked me to revise. One already 5 months. It's a technovation Q1. Technovation Q1 is very high ranked journal in technological innovation. Almost 6 months not yet do my revision. Another one is a tourism economic. Last month until now. So it's quite packed with my existing task. So I need to do it slowly, okay? Because I find that if you do it simply revise, the chances to be rejected is very high. Okay, that is a process. Okay. So discuss the most important general consideration in publication. So you need to know. Okay. Ask this question by yourself: is my research worth publishing? If you don't know the quality of your research, you can submit. You can ask your supervisor or the core supervisor to read it and give the comment. If you cannot decide. Okay. Then if my research describing originals, this is rating the significance of contribution. When as a reviewer, I always emphasize on the contribution. If nothing you contribute to the field, I don't think it's worth to publish your article. Definitely the editor also don't consider. Okay. How can I prepare paper in the shortest possible? But this word shortest mean be careful. Not mean that you can prepare an article within 3 months. Because starting from the data collection, analysis, and easily takes 6 months to complete a paper. Not easy. How the journal acceptance procedure will already discussed with you how many steps. So you need to check. Okay, you need to check the paper. How to find the proper ISS. I already told you using the JSCR. Later you also can use the Elsevier. The Elsevier also can help you. You just paste your abstract, and then they help you to look for the suitable journal. But that one not so accurate, but it's at least they count based on the keyword. How to increase the citation of my paper? You need to produce a good quality article with new contribution. With new contribution. Okay, nobody will cite you. Okay. So that is a article that describe the effective presence of this will be the contribute the research literature. So you need to do your literature very, very well. Okay, frankly speaking, if your literature review is weak, because I can see a student, I can read the student mind. Maybe he just take a few articles and combine and say, oh, this is my gap. Yes, you can do that. But if you are the CSR, I'm your competitor because I'm also an expert in CSR. If I ask a few theory, then you never cite that particular theory or never don't know about the angle journal. We call it angle journal, like the Freeman, 1984 stakeholder theory, then the Barney VRO, the kind of thing. You don't know about the Elkington three bottom line. This kind of thing you don't know. People will find that there's something wrong with your reteaching. Okay, that's why I do the reteacher review, do extensively the teacher review. So this is the thing, a contribution, the need to define the context of nature research. You need to look, the contribution, try to understand. I'm not going to in-depth what contribution means. You need to learn it from your research method. Yeah, what is a significant contribution? Okay? So you see, this is a word. Most scholars in my field now think that, say that, okay? My research so that, this kind of thing. My research because, why? That is your contribution. People will cite you later because of your contribution. Okay. Okay, this is I think I'm almost end of the presentation. So what editor and review look for? I think the originality, very important. So your contribution, normally we will look for the contribution. If your article is more like duplicate and replicate other people's study, it's very hard. Okay, you can pass through this kind of process. Okay, relevance is an extension of the existing knowledge. Definitely, you are doing something extension. Research methodology also can try to use the more advanced method. A lot of new method nowadays. You can use it not only SPSS or Smart DLS or AMOS. A lot. Maybe you can use econometric methods. Okay, you can use it. Methodology also one of the major contribution because generalization, robustness of your result. Clarity, structure, and quality of writing. This one you need to do your own. You need to learn. Nobody can teach you. Okay. Sound, logical, progression, argument. They're also very important. Discussion part. Result and discussion is your main contribution to me. Because when I see, when I read the logical progression of the argument, if you everything support, I think that then you need to say why your test all support. Then you can say, oh, refer to literature. Yeah, why the literature say your research should be support? Okay, because that one will link to your theoretical and practical implication. Support mean what happened to the theoretical and the practical implication. Okay, experiment result. Yeah, try to compare with other work. What's so different with your experiment result? That's how I think the Dr. Farah said that when you are negative result, mean that you are rejected the hypothesis or insignificant. That is your plus point. Okay, plus point for your research. Okay, because you are something different from the others now. People tend to cite you later because why? You are one of the new contribution. Okay? Recency and also relevancy of reference. Yeah, reference, please take it 5 years. Okay? That's why I see that. Not mean that you don't take the O. Those are founder, those are angle journal. You can the angle paper, you can use it. Okay, the founder, whatever theory, you can use. But for those who are contribution and new knowledge, you should look for the new latest. Okay. So the next one with the scope and objective of the journal. You need to read the aim and the scope of the journal first. What they're trying to look for. Okay. So this is a guideline. So think about the guideline and how you want to before you're sending. So this one I think you can read it yourself. Many people rejected because of this one. All the minor problem here. Okay. So try to prepare. I just want to remind you all, try to prepare a good article. Okay? Try to prepare a good article and brush it, okay? Brush, polishing, whatever, polish nicely before you send out the article. So this is what I call the Elsevier. You can look for this Elsevier. The Elsevier there, you look for the journal finder, type the name journal finder elsevier.com, okay? You put your paper and your abstract. Then you click your field of research. Then he will show you the result like this one. Like how many percent follow, except this is a MASH, okay? MASH what? Future Generation Computer Science, this journal, impact factor 2.786. So he give you all the information, but you need to pay money, open access, see? Sandwich turnover. So you can send, I mean that just a very rough, don't depend 100%, but at least give you the guideline. Remember, just now one of the students asked me how to look for the suitable SI. One of the, the very simple way or straightforward way, you can use the journal finder Elsevier. So put your paper title and abstract and click which field you are in. Then he will generate a report. So you can see, or you can screen through all the report here. You can match by impact factor, open access, so many. So that's why the Elsevier is very good kind of a database. Your student can use it. But don't believe 100% because it depends. But you want to early, what I call the, just want to double confirm something, you can use this kind of journal finder, okay? You can copy this one, journal finder Elsevier, and you can try, okay? But it's not 100% accurate, frankly speaking, but at least you have a guideline, okay, as something to show you, okay? Okay, this is I won't go in depth about the recession because I think this already discussed by the Dr. Farah just now. This is a more, I think ethical issue is very important. So plagiarism and ethical issue. So a lot of students, sometimes I can see the data, maybe they manipulate the data. I can see they try to make it all support and very significant. So just report what you get from the database. Okay, what are the analysis? Just report it. Okay. I do not have conflict of interest. This is mainly experimental result. If you have any issue, just report it. Okay. The data is old. Yeah. You try not to drag so long for your PhD because one of the issue is your data. So the scientific problem, unclear hypothesis, weak design. This is I think you can rectify it. Not an issue at all. Because this one all can be. So your presentation style of your paper depends, very organized, very written. So when you want to write a good article, you need to have at least 10 anchor journal. Anchor journal mean like me, if I study CSR in firm performance, I will have 10 or 20 ready article, almost similar with my field. I will try to follow the style of argue and arrange organize my article. I cannot start nowhere. I need to follow their sequence. How they argue, I also try to follow. When I write introduction, I will read all the instructions for this 10 or 20 article. Then I see how to make it my own introduction. I not say copy, mean you read it, the style, they argue the issue. Then go to literature. I also follow the literature. Maybe you put how you argue it, how you want to put the subtitle, then so on. You need to follow, okay? So plagiarism, very important. Normally, I think plagiarism for so far, I think it's less than 15, 1.5 is considered okay. Don't more than 1.5. Don't salami slicing. This is no good because you need to cite people work and also duplicate the publication. No, do not do that. This is all the very yeah. I know that sometimes the student also not purposely want to do this because of desperate. I can see when due to the graduation or certain situation. But I wonder how try to avoid this problem. Okay, some strategy to improve your chance of publication. I think you can take note about. Understand the chemistry of the scholar search. Then realize the importance of theory and literature. Yes, this is a very, very important. If a study without theory and literature, I don't think it's very convincing to me. Okay, even though in your PhD study also, it's very important. I always ask, what is your theory? What is your literature? And what is your gap? Another way. Okay, start writing during the, you have to start writing now, not wait for your PhD complete, then you send the article. No, you can send when I start sending my my article to submit my article to all the journal in the first year. Okay, after first year. Master the core concept, impact factor, peer review. You need, just what I told you just now, all is about the scientific knowledge. I hope that has helped you to enhance your knowledge, how to look for the good journal. You need to know how to look for good journal that fit to your article. That's why I told you the scientific knowledge is very important. Okay, you know what is impact factor, what is a peer review process, and the contribution, what they look for. It's very important. Build the network and collaboration. Yes, try to build the network with your friends, with your lecturer, with your supervisor. Try to attend all the conferences. If free, if pay, try to ask from your supervisor a grant, whatever. Please attend the workshop, or please attend the seminar and conferences or colloquium. Why? From there, you can know people, you can build your network. During my UPM PhD, I joined all the overseas conference. I've been joined in Greece, UK, and also the Bali, all the international conference. Okay, I learned a lot there. Okay? That's why I think it's try to build and collaborate with others. You see my paper also, we have a lot of collaboration. I have a lecturer, I have an India lecturer, UK lecturer, different university. Okay, and check your plagiarism before you submit, please. Plagiarism is very, very crucial nowadays. So turning in will be one of the best to me. Okay, so far I think widely accepted. Now it's free for Taylor now. I think that's why you can check. Please, less than 15. Less than 10 is the best. You cannot, less than 15 is acceptable. Don't worry about that. Okay? Can you say that my plagiarism is 0, 1 or 2%? Something wrong. Can, but I don't think you are 100%. You don't have any keywords similar with others. Okay? So it's possible to have 0 plagiarism, but I also quite what I call the big question mark with me, at least 2 or 3% of 5 or so. So definitely there's a plagiarism impact. Okay, focus on abstract. This is a depends journal. Okay, introduction, models, method, result. This is a simple guideline for you. Revision and after writing. Okay, so this is a review process. We have accepted without revision. This no way lah. Minor, major, reject, or we submit, and reject, no revision to be submitted. So it depends. So normally, so far I think I have been marked for the major revision, and also reject without any. Okay, reject with no revision will be accepted. Okay? So depends. Okay, your quality of your paper. Okay, this is my personal sharing. So I will show you one of my respond. Okay, respond to the reviewer, and you can take a look how I respond. Okay, this is how look like. Can you see the screen of you? Yeah, can. So this is a response to editor and reviewer comment. This is a comment from the editor. Editor also comment, and then it's my response. So first, I think you need to say politely, thank you, for giving us the opportunity to submit a revised draft, whatever. Okay, try to be polite and thank to all the editor and reviewer. This is very important because you'll be humble. Okay, so you need to, all the comment need to be respond one by one. Do not skip or delete. No. Like the editor comment, they comment about the reference or referee. So you need to add. I will add the recent one. Okay, you add. Then whatever comment you add, you need to let them know newly added reference list here. Then you need to prove that where you at. Okay, then furthermore, and then you need to appreciate the editor suggestion, whatever. Recommend that you have professional editing. Okay, spelling. Okay, can go. Then this is a reviewer A. So try to read it one by one. See. Comment 1, what have you done? Comment 2, and please find the section. If you add some new section, indicate properly section what, page what in your article. At least editor know. Normally we will highlight in the original article. Okay, depends how you want to present your response. Okay, so normally I will highlight, and then this paragraph can be found in page 6, section 2.1. Okay. Then this one also you need to add. Okay, section testing. What have you done? Okay, please find it at whatever. So you need to. This is a reviewer 1 A. This is a reviewer 2 B. Okay, also same. Agree or not agree. If you agree, you say agree. You don't agree, then you are justified. Normally I agree because there's a constructive result there, so very useful. Okay, that is one of the way to respond to the reviewer. Is one of the simple method, but you respond to them in a very humble way. It's very important because when you want to do your revision. So okay, I have finished my discussion. Any issue? Any problem? Almost time. Sorry, 10 minutes. So okay, I think. Okay, then any questions? When we receive review, okay, but one question over here, but the review was usually double blind, mean we do not know, we don't know the reviewer. We are not allowed to know, even though the editor also select us, but our name also cannot be appear in the article or anywhere. Just the editor and me only. It's very, but they are anything instant that reviewer indicate. No, impossible. We are not allowed to. Yeah, we are not allowed to indicate the name, our name in the article. But some of the, I know, reviewer ask them to cite, ask the author to cite the article. They have.
Yeah, sometimes from the list of the citations suggested, we can guess who.
Yeah, better don't cite. Don't cite them. It's not ethical at all unless they ask you to refer to this argument. Can. Don't say. Normally we won't suggest them, but we only show the author. This argument may be suitable for your study. You try to take a look. Normally we will suggest that. Not mean you need to cite them. No, you read what so different with your article. Okay. If our first submission being rejected by first publisher, is it possible to send to? Of course can. That's reject not mean that your article is poor, but maybe the scope of that particular journal also one possibility. If normally the editor will write something very brief comment about why they reject your article. Okay. So maybe they will say your scope, maybe suitability of your journal, suitability, the scope of the journal. Don't worry about that. You always can send to anywhere you like. Don't worry. Okay. Not mean that you reject me forever, you throw away your paper. No. Keep on trying. Once you get the reviewer comment, then okay, you can do your revision. Don't worry. Okay. Welcome.
Sorry, Dr. Lin.
Yep.
Can I just answer one question up there that was from back at 11:27?
You can.
Okay, so there's one direct message. So from Cowstar. Sorry, I can't pronounce your name. So in the qualitative approach, it's very dependent on the good illustration of information, the strength of the memory of the respondents, and the accuracy of the moment of observation. Not exactly the strength of the memory. Well, usually that's the thing about research rigor. We ask the respondent to can you recall the last year or that, but we normally don't ask them to recall 20 years ago, right? So if you ask them to recall at the startup, how did you do this in the last 2 years, that is all right. And The accuracy of the moment of observation, yes, that's why field notes is very important. So in qualitative data research, we usually have something called data triangulation. So you will have different sources of data to triangulate. So we will have interviews, okay, transcripts, and we also have our observations where there we have a few notes. We have to notes to refer to, and then we will also have, if it's possible, to obtain internal documents from the companies, all right? Or you attend their meetings, then you have the meaning of meeting, or you have industry reports to data triangulate. So how do we find the right thing? Basically, you want to find, depends on what you're looking for. If you're studying the process of it, then you need to have a timeline analysis of how the things evolve over time. If you are doing like comparative case studies, then you find the differences and similarities, and then you find the themes of it. Okay, so that is the essence of qualitative research. If you want to know more about qualitative research, you will have to read the handbook of qualitative research. There are a couple of them, and then you can read it out. Yeah. Okay, that's I just wanted to answer the question before it gets drowned out. Sorry, Dr. Lin, for interrupting.
Thank you. Don't worry. Okay. Another question is, is it enough to use Turnitin? More than enough. Don't worry. So far, the most comprehensive plagiarism system is the Turnitin. Because Turnitin depends on the database, how big the database capture all kind of information. So don't worry, Lala. When you turn in is 15%, I think that's the best enough, because plagiarism is a more comprehensive data software tool used to check our plagiarism. Don't worry, I think it's if your plagiarism less than 15, I think the rest is more than enough. Okay, Aslan, do not. No. Please, please don't submit. Okay, you only submit one article at one time, one journal. Why? Your field, if you are in CSR, the chances to be selected similar reviewer is very high. Because why? The field is very niche, because of CSR, and then you are from Asia, you're also from Asia, they will select the editor from Asia as well, because you study based on the Asia. So coincidentally, you have two journals also select the same reviewer. You will be blacklisted forever because it's a non-ethical. So try not to send multiple journal at once. No, it's the same article. No, don't do that. Because why? You're wasting the reviewer time and the editor time. Frankly speaking, because they want to look for the journal, look for the reviewer is not an easy process. Okay. So I think try not to do that. Okay. Okay, I think any more question? Yeah, thank you so much for joining. I hope we will see you again in August. Maybe another type of the workshop. I think I wish to organize about the how to pass your PD. Okay, how to pass your PD. That's a proposal defense. I think quite interesting to know how to do your presentation well, especially how to prepare a slide and how to answer the examiner question. Okay. So maybe in August, feel free to join. Yeah, feel free to join. Thank you so much, Marlan. Thank you so much, all of you. So I think no more question. I think we stop here. So thank you so much, and then hope to see you again. Any problem, you can write to us, Dr. Farah and me, to try our best, okay, to reply it. Okay, thank you. So Dr. Farah, can you close the ceremony? Closing ceremony for Dr. Thank
I'm
you.
the MC today.
Yeah.
Okay, and thank you, Dr. Lin, for information for your webinar. I was also learning a lot from you.
Same to me.
And because you have to remember, for the participants, especially your PhD students, learning is a process, lifelong. Okay, we academicians, the more you learn, the more you feel that the more I don't know actually. And as I become very niche in my area of family business, I actually don't know much about CSR or sustainability, and I would like to learn from Dr. Lin. So we academicians are always should be humble, okay? Always be humble and always try to continuously learn and improve. And don't, as I say, perseverance. Don't fear about rejection. Rejection. You can face rejections, but ultimately you will find a home for it. Just be perseverance, be patient, and don't lose hope. Okay.
Yeah.